What's happening, everyone, and welcome back to TV Box Top for another new and exciting TV Box review. Today I got my hands on no other than the latest Amazon Fire TV Cube 3rd generation model. This latest model brings new features to the table, including an all-new CPU with an upgraded design to now include more input-output peripherals such as a USB port that was missing in their last model. So this latest model falls within the high-end category and is also classified as a certified model with digital rights to stream premium subscription services in HD and 4K. So to find out what else it can do, stay tuned, my full review is up next. So I'm back and let's take a look at what you get in this purchase. You have the new Fire TV Cube itself, a new version of the Fire TV remote, a pair of Amazon Basics AAA batteries, a 12 volts 1.25 amps DC power adapter, an information card, and a quick start guide for Alexa. So now a look at the design of the Cube itself. So in this model, they decided on a new look with a fabric covering over the sides of its housing, with the top section consisting of its far field feature for Alexa, with built-in microphones, its interactive LED strip, and buttons to control its volume. To its rear is where you will find its input-output peripherals, consisting of one HDMI 2.1 input port, one HDMI 2.1 output port, one IR extender port, one USB 2.0 port, one Ethernet LAN port, and its DC power input socket. And below this model, the entire bottom surface is an anti-skid rubber pad. The new version of the Fire Remote comes with your standard Alexa button to the top, your direction pad with an OK button to the center, home and back buttons and a menu button, media control buttons, volume and channel up and down buttons, a guide button. It has a recent apps button for multitasking, a settings button, a mute button, and quick access buttons for your major subscription services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Hulu. So in starting up for the first time, the entire process can take up to 10 minutes depending on the availability of firmware updates, configuring the Fire Remote, logging into your network, logging in or registering for a new Amazon Prime Video account, a couple of restarts, and then you'll be taken to the launcher. So this is the Amazon Fire TV launcher. And for those of you who are new to Amazon Fire TV devices, this is not your usual Android TV box launcher. As a matter of fact, it's quite different in many ways. Firstly, it's designed to be integrated fully into paid subscription services, and once you log into your accounts, recommendations and search features will be featured and accessed on the home screen. To the top of this launcher, you have navigation shortcuts to access your profiles. Its source inputs. This is where you can access its HDMI input port. You can search across various subscription services. You have a home shortcut and a favorite shortcut called My Stuff. To the right, you have a shortcuts bar to access its major subscription services, a shortcut to access the app section, and the settings area. So this bar right here acts as your navigation bar, and on the remote you have a recent apps button, but it's not like your recent apps feature on your standard TV box, as you cannot remove apps from the list or access split screen feature. So this launcher or interface is called Fire OS, and this is version 7.6.1.3, and it's compiled using the Android 9Pie SDK. So in essence, you are running Android 9Pie. You can also enable developer options by clicking 7 times on the OK button while in this section. And once you back out to the My Fire TV section, there you will see developer options listed. In comparison to regular Android boxes, with Fire OS, you don't get access to the Google Play Store or Google Play services. However, you can sideload APKs or APK app stores and install your favorite apps and games. It's also said that you can sideload the Play Store, but I'm not sure how well it will integrate. With this firmware, on the display and sounds you get 4K 2160p at 60Hz resolution. You get up to 12-bit color depth. It has HDR display with the option to set it to adaptive HDR. This feature ensures that it works well on both HDR and non-HDR TVs. It has a gaming mode that reduces lag when connected to gaming consoles and other devices. There is an option called Super Resolution, which is equivalent to AI upscaling, a feature that uses AI technology to enhance the picture quality of a video from its original low-quality resolution. It comes with HDMI CC options, HDMI input pass-through option. There is an option called Audio and Video Diagnostics. This is a feature that will detect and analyze the capabilities of connected display devices for features such as Dolby Vision and HDR support. Currently, it's connected to my capture card that does not support Dolby Vision. If I connect it directly to my TV, Dolby Vision will then become available. And under audio options, you can disable the navigation clicking sound. You have surround sound audio options. You have advanced audio options where you have a dialogue enhancer and a volume leveler. And you have audio video sync tuning, a feature to ensure that the box's audio and video are in sync. As mentioned, with the Cube you don't get Google Play services, which means you would have to sideload a lot of apps that you would usually use on your regular Android boxes. In the settings area under developer options, you have to enable ADB debugging so that the USB port will read external storage devices. However, I could only get up to 128 GB of external storage via an M.2 SSD enclosure to read. Anything higher wouldn't read. So I've sideloaded all the apps needed for my review, and this was done using APKs stored on external storage and using the APK Pure App Store. Some people prefer to use Downloader, but I have my preferences. Some of you may also be wondering if you can use a mouse pointer with this cube. You can connect a controller via its USB port or via Bluetooth, but the mouse cursor will only appear in apps that require it. You will not be able to navigate its launcher or settings area with a mouse cursor. Let's now take a look at its system and hardware information. So, the manufacturer of this chipset is Amlogic, and it runs on 2 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 16 GB of internal storage, from which this is the remainder after the Fire OS operating system and apps are installed. Its Bluetooth version is 5.0. Its CPU is the Amlogic Pop1G, or otherwise known as the Amlogic AML Popcorn. And it's an octa-core CPU comprising of a quad-core Cortex A53 clocked at 2.0 GHz and a quad-core Cortex A73 clocked at 2.2 GHz for a total of 8 cores with a maximum CPU clock speed of 2.2 GHz. It's configured in 32-bit mode, which means it's restricted to only 32-bit apps and games. Its display is powered by the Mali G52 GPU with a refresh rate of 60Hz with OpenGL version 3.2. Under network shows that it has dual band Wi-Fi. However, according to its hardware specs on their product page, it states that its network adapter is a tri-band adapter with 2.4, 5 GHz and 6 GHz bands supported. Its operating system is Android 9 Pie and it shows that the box is not rooted. Under devices shows that it has Vulkan support API version 1.1. Under temperature, the box idles around 42 degrees Celsius, and this is a snapshot when you start the app. And under codecs, it has all of the decoders for the playback of 4K HDR AV1 videos, and it also has surround sound audio decoders such as Dolby Atmos ESC3. However, there are no DTS HD decoders in this list, and that's its system and hardware information. I now focus my attention to its primary feature of streaming premium paid subscription movie services. This third generation of the Amazon Fire TV Cube is what I refer to as an official streaming device that can play services such as Netflix, Disney+, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, and others in HD and 4K quality with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos surround sound audio. This is possible because it's fully certified with the digital rights and protection to protect these services from piracy. Here its DRM information shows that it has Google Widevine Level 1 with HDCP 2.2 protection. This protection encrypts the outgoing HDMI signal so that devices can't record or pirate these paid subscription services. You also don't have root access to its core file system. Here it shows that it's not rooted, so apps that require root access will not work on this cube. Here in my Netflix account, it shows that I can play movies in 4K Ultra HD with Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. The same applies for my Amazon Prime Video account. And for alternatives, you can sideload the Kodi Media Player or your favorite streaming APK and navigate their menus with the Fire Remote. You also have the option of using a mouse cursor. One of the features I'm really impressed with in this third generation of the Fire TV Cube is its screen mirroring feature. Screen mirroring on the Cube is the best, allowing you to mirror your Android or iOS mobile phone in HD resolution. I've seen many Android boxes try to implement this feature and fail miserably. Here I'm casting my Android cell phone in HD with very little latency. It's now time to test its 4K HDR, HLG HDR, and AV1 video playback capabilities.
And only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what counts in the case of
So finding the right media player to play all your formats can be challenging, as it only allows apps such as the VLC player and the Kodi Media Player. Other apps such as the MX player and the Nova player are blocked. For playing AV1 videos, the VLC player freezes up a lot, so you are left with the Kodi Media Player that can play all your 4K HDR, HLG HDR and AV1 videos smoothly. In testing for surround sound audio, I discovered that they programmed the Cube to only process surround sound audio from apps such as Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, and others. If you play a video, it will switch to Dolby Atmos, Dolby Surround, or Dolby Digital Plus. If you try to play self-hosted videos, the box defaults to Dolby Surround for every video, and there is no DTS whatsoever.
This is Dolby Atmos, the world's first object-based cinematic.
For 3D gaming, you are limited in so many ways in what you can play on its limited 16GB of internal storage, and with the absence of Google Play services, there is no way of accessing gamepad keymapping or accessing your saved game's data. I tried connecting a non-Fire TV gamepad via Bluetooth and the Cube will not detect it, so I had to use a wired gamepad to play a game. Make no mistake, its hardware is very powerful hardware, but getting the games you want to play poses a challenge. So to close off this review, let's take a look at its benchmarks and where it places on the rankings chart, starting with its RAM copy speed and its internal storage read and write speeds. It has a RAM copy speed of 2981 MB per second. Its internal storage has a read speed of 134 MB per second and a write speed of 41 MB per second. Next, its Wi-Fi 6 and Ethernet LAN speed tests. Based on my network speed of 154 MB per second, its 5 GHz band achieved maximum speed. Its 2.4 GHz band achieved 64% of the speed, and its LAN port achieved 59%. So this confirms that the LAN port is not a gigabit LAN port. In benchmarking the speed of its CPU's single-core and multi-core performance, in the Geekbench 5 CPU benchmark, the Amlogic Pop1G aka AML Popcorn clocked at 2.2 GHz, got a score of 256 single-core and 679 multi-core. In benchmarking its GPU, it only qualified for the Slingshot Extreme test because the Wildlife test requires Android 10 or higher, and in this test it scored 1864. And in the Antutu benchmark it scored 184,384. It would have scored higher if it had more RAM, as anything under 4GB triggers the Antutu 3D Bench Lite version. So I've updated the scores on my rankings chart, and the new Amazon Fire TV Cube 3rd generation is at position number 4 based on the Antutu benchmark score it generated. It also received a 3 out of 5 star rating based on my user experience. So it's a powerful TV box indeed, but as an enthusiast, I found it very difficult to do most of the things I like to do on standard boxes running the mobile version. So if you would like to view this chart where you can compare various benchmarks and features in comparison to other top models, I placed a link in the description below this video. This chart also contains links to purchase pages and discount coupon pages using these links right here, and I also provide links to its corresponding videos. So again, see the link in the description below this video. So in summary, I can't say that I'm overly excited about the release of this latest model. Yes, it has the latest hardware, but its interface is just too restricted for me to enjoy a good Android streaming experience. Some would argue that these certified models are the best, and with Alexa, you can use it as part of your smart home ecosystem. However, in these modern times, the use of Android boxes extends way beyond just streaming Netflix and Amazon Prime Video, and for that, some may find this box very restricted and frustrating to operate. The absence of Google Play services is a big deal breaker for me, and its limited RAM and internal storage defeats the purpose of being called a high-end model. I was hoping that it would have made a great gaming device, but with these specs you are just better off just streaming. And that, my friends, brings to an end this review. So I don't have to tell you where you can get this device because it belongs to no other than Amazon. So to support this channel, see the link in the description below this video. Thanks for watching. Give this video the thumbs up if you enjoyed the presentation and the information contained in this video was of value. If you are new to this channel and would like to follow the work that I do here, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notifications bell before leaving to receive notifications each time I release new videos or decide to do a giveaway. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Stay tuned and see you in the next one.